Are you dreaming for a fresh start in North Carolina? Well, I'm going to share with you some insider secrets that will make your move to North Carolina smoother than our famous barbecue sauce. From mountain views to coastal breeze, I'm here to help you navigate to your perfect North Carolina home. In addition to all that, I'll be sharing with you guys a website that shares everything that you need to know about North Carolina. Now, if you're new to me, in this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on anything. But also, I am a licensed realtor here and would love nothing more but the opportunity to be able to assist you with your relocation needs. So if you do need any assistance, you have any questions or anything of that nature, just reach out. One of the first tips that I'll share that I do see a lot of people do, just want to leave this as like a reminder, is when planning your move, just look over your budget sheet and ideally just look to see what that looks like entirely. And also, if you're of course looking to purchase, make sure that you do speak to a mortgage lender or something of that nature to understand what your budget is going to look like if you were to purchase in North Carolina, because then that can identify and help you look at what kind of home that you will be looking at entirely. Don't skip that step, because that step is going to ideally give you the understanding is if this even is something that you should continuously pursue. And in addition to that, it's researching neighborhoods. So of course, you're probably watching this to identify a little bit more about what Raleigh is all like, and of course the neighborhood. So I think you're on the right track by just looking a little bit more about what's going on in Raleigh and also the neighborhoods and so on and so forth. But this is something I do see a lot of people already take that step forward. Again, this is just a reminder because I think that's an important step. And if you miss out on that step, then you're really not going to know why you should be moving to North Carolina to begin with. And then once you have the planning phase down and you have a full conviction as far as you're moving to North Carolina, regardless of the situation, I think this is a time where this is a big tip here. And I say it all the time to everyone. And I don't know how many people actually do it, but for those that do it, congratulations. Because I always say, plan a visit. Just take a weekend, take a week, however long that your schedule desires or even allows. Take that trip, because now you can take your own experiences and apply that to, whether that you deem as North Carolina being a good fit for you or not. I say it all the time. I did it myself, and that's why I always recommend it for other individuals, because I can share with you guys all the stories, the scenarios, what's going on. I can even show you guys, but there is nothing like your own feel of getting that and being able to be on the ground and be able to speak to other individuals to see how is everything culturally and do you vibe even with everyone. But I think this is the one step that everybody really should be taking. And at least now you'll be traveling to North Carolina with some sort of knowledge of it, rather than traveling being clueless and not knowing what to do or where to go or what to look out for or even what to experience. So that way, this is going to make your trip a little bit more intentional, which I think is extremely helpful in deciding or even determining if North Carolina is a good fit for you or not. But moving is way more than just boxes. It's all about creating that new life. And this is why I think this tip here is extremely important, which is understanding your why. Why are you even moving to North Carolina? Don't be that individuals to relocate to another state just because you see everybody else moving there and they're showing you all these glamorous clips, stories, whatever the case may be. Because, of course, there's something bad in every state that you go. And, of course, you're going to want to identify if that state is even for you. However, one thing I could definitely share is I see a lot of individuals that relocate here. It's either family, closer to family, or get away from family, or work. And when I say work, it's either, work relocating them, or they found a better opportunity, or even a business that they're looking to expand. So those are one of the few reasons that I found a lot of individuals relocating to the North Carolina area. And I can honestly say specifically Raleigh, North Carolina, that has been a big factor. Even ask yourself these sort of questions, which is, what's drawing you to North Carolina? Is it the beach? Is it the mountains? Is it the vibrant city? Is it the smaller city, or is the big city feel? Because North Carolina is a large state in itself that provides you with literally everything I just mentioned to you. And if you want mountains feel, but then you end up at the beach, you have a big problem there. So understanding that is going to help you narrow down your focus as far as if that area is even a good fit for you. I can honestly share with you guys, if you guys want a really big city feel, that's, in my personal opinion, that's going to be Charlotte for you guys. If you want a mid-sized city feel, that's going to be more of Raleigh. If you want the mountains, you can go to Asheville. If you want the beach, you can go to Wilmington. So these are all, and they're all honestly 3 to 4 hours separate apart. I probably over exaggerating there, but they're not that close to each other to a point where you can live in one and just travel to the other for work. That's not gonna happen. So understanding that is extremely pivotal to knowing your why, so you can then position yourself. As I mentioned earlier, this entire channel shares with you what's like to live in Raleigh or even the surrounding area. So you could definitely do a deep dive and take a look at the videos I've already done and just put that part of your research process. But other than that, those areas like Asheville or even Wilmington, Charlotte, I've touched upon quite a few bit, but not that much. I would definitely recommend just be a pro at the research aspect of it. And if you guys do have any questions at any sort of time about any of these areas, I could definitely point you in the right direction, or maybe it's about Raleigh or the surrounding areas that I could go ahead and help you guys out with. So you see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends, and just share with me, maybe the question that you're looking for, or hey, this is ideally what you're looking for, and maybe we can set up a Zoom consultation as well to discuss that in detail. Now, let's just say you've identified that North Carolina is the place that you want to call home. Here's your opportunity to do a little bit more research. Here you can see a cost of living calculator that I typically recommend when individuals are concerned about the cost. Here's a great gauge to identify. Now, of course, these cost of living calculators I don't think are always 100%. So take it with a grain of salt, but at least it gives you an idea of what it is that you may be up against or even dealing with if you were to make that move in retrospect to your current situation. Now, of course, things can change. You could probably get it better. You could probably get a worse job, or the pay may be exactly the same. I don't know that, but this is at least going to give you an idea of what steps that you could or should be taking now knowing this information. But it doesn't end there. Do you guys remember in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I'm going to share with you guys a website that will share everything that you need to know about North Carolina? Well, here it is here. In this website, you could really go ahead and check it out. I know I'm really limited as far as outside of the Raleigh and surrounding areas, even down to the Fayetteville area. I can even expand and give you a little bit of guidance on that aspect. But outside of those areas, yes, I am extremely limited. It's either I'm going to put you in contact with somebody, or you can, like I mentioned, just go straight to that website, check it out, look to see what they have to share in regards to the area. That way you now know what exactly you may at least expect. And in addition to everything, I will be creating relocation guides for at least the Raleigh and the Fayetteville area. So if either one of those areas does interest you and you just want a copy, be sure to email me and just keep it really simple in the email. Say relocation guide for whatever area it is, and I'll be sure to send that right over to you. Now, what I'm about to share with you guys is something that I personally should have done myself. Not sure why I didn't. I guess I was just so anxious to make the move. But I will say, because I moved by myself, I didn't really have, much at stake, I will say. But there's a lot of things I could have avoided. Like, for instance, the pollen. Understanding how severely the pollen is here could have definitely avoided a lot of little stresses that I have from time to time dealing with it. But I'm here to learn as I go, and you guys can learn from my mistakes and at least apply it to yours so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. But one of these things that I really want to share with you guys, whether you're renting or whether you're even going to buy, is understanding the commute times, the school districts, and of course the proximity that you want to be from certain amenities. As I mentioned all throughout this video, all these areas are going to give you a little bit something different of a feel or even a vibe. So you got to really understand that. And then you really want to dial deep into that area to know how close or how far you're going to be to certain amenities, because you will have some rural areas. You will have some suburban feels, some urban areas, some city life feel kind of things in all these different areas. So you're definitely going to want to understand that. Because this is where I see a lot of individuals, they get tripped up on all right, for instance, they have identified Raleigh is the place that they want to be. And we start to look at Raleigh, then they were like, you know what, maybe Raleigh isn't the best fit. Then we start to look at, maybe Holly Springs. And then they start to see Holly Springs be a little bit more filling and to what it is that they want. This is why I think once you identify one area, so maybe it is Raleigh, maybe it is Charlotte or Asheville, let's start to focus in a little bit more there. And then you can start to at least expand that list a little bit more, which is, I always recommend finding at least 3 to 5 neighborhoods, specific neighborhoods that you really want to look at, simply because if you have the neighborhoods, the homes are just a little bit easier to find. Whereas if you look at the homes first, the homes could be there today, gone tomorrow. I'm sure you guys all have seen that and witnessed it, especially throughout the times that we're in now, where homes are constantly just getting on and off the market. However, if you at least identify the neighborhood, there's a lot less that can occur in that neighborhood. And at least you now know what the feel is going to be like. It's just a matter of finding that home that's in that specific neighborhood. But like I said, just yes, you can focus on North Carolina, but then when you focus on North Carolina, let's bring it down to a specific city. Then when we can bring it to a specific city, we could bring it even down to a specific neighborhood, suburb, or even the town that's within that city, whatever the case is. You guys get the gist there. I think it's extremely important for everyone to take the time to really find, once you find that large city or town that you're looking into, to really find that neighborhood specifically. And heck, you may be at that point where you have everything. Leverage the heck out of me, whatever that means to you. Like if I were in your shoes, I would by far pick my brain about real estate, pick my brain about the area, even ask for real estate data. I would even share what is it that I ideally want within an area with myself, right? I would share it with me just so I can even maybe point you in that right direction as far as what I think may work for you. That's going to save you a ton of time. And even if that area isn't here now, it may be here later because this area is still growing. I actually did a video that you guys can go ahead and check out where I talk about some of the new neighborhoods that is developing as we speak. Of course, those neighborhoods being in Raleigh, but I would ultimately say just seek out for additional information and to identify it. If you already know North Carolina is a good fit and you know that Raleigh's an even better fit, then great. Seek out for as much information as possible to see, can you solidify your move to North Carolina and not be one of those individuals to relocate here, then 2-3 years later move back. I see this happen all the time, and it's just like, man, you just went through all that time, all that effort, maybe even all that stress, packing up stuff just to go back. It's heartbreaking for me because it's like, man, I understand that how much time and effort it goes into moving in itself. So to see someone do it twice within a short period of time, oh my gosh, God bless you. Now it's your turn. I'm giving you the floor to ask all those questions about North Carolina, whether it's relocation questions or even dreams that you have about the area that you just want to know. Let's all hear it in the comments below. And if you're a native or maybe you're living in North Carolina right now, let's help everyone considering making the move here. And honestly, don't discourage, don't lie and say North Carolina is full, because we all know it's not. If North Carolina was a full, it would not be growing. And yeah, but let's just say, if you do think that North Carolina is full, then maybe North Carolina just isn't for you anymore. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina, and would love nothing more but the opportunity and the ability to assist you with your relocation needs. So you see that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing, I got your back in this market.